Dragon Ball would be way better and way more emotionally resonant if Goku and Vegeta's second deaths were permanent, and here's why. Goku's death after teleporting Cell to King Kai's planet showed his absolute belief in his son, surpassing his own strength. Goku may have been able to defeat Cell, but he chose to give up his life for Gohan. The heart virus would have killed him anyway, and this way it inspired Gohan to step up and become a true warrior, surpassing everyone else in the show by achieving Super Saiyan 2 for the very first time, which was a step beyond his father's achievements. It mirrors when Master Roshi chose to surrender against Tien. Despite being in a capable state, he stepped down anyway, because he found solace, knowing the fact that he'd found a worthy successor. It gave Tien a lesson in humility, which set him on the path of becoming a teacher himself.
Just too tired. I need a replacement. You fit the bill nicely. The world could use a few new heroes.
This man's story arc was over, and he had a few more moments to shine in the Demon King Piccolo arc, but his story was kind of done. That's why he took such a big backseat in Dragon Ball Z. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting to kill off Master Roshi. I actually like happy endings. I like that he got to see the next generation flourish. The students that he developed became the defenders of Earth. And now he gets to relax and be a hermit. But in Dragon Ball Super, we learned that Tien did actually open a martial arts school, and we even get to see Roshi at the school. But the students are all lame weaklings. It's a big shame because we could have seen Tien looking towards the younger generation much the same way Roshi did when he found Tien. He declared Tien his successor, but compare students. Roshi had Goku, Krillin, Yamcha, and Tien. And who does Tien have? Nobody's. It's a big shame because a big through line of Dragon Ball for a long time was teaching the younger generation, having them be prepared for life.
Hey, Gohan!
And that has really been lost because it's now just the Goku and Vegeta show. Goku actually had the opportunity to pass the torch to Gohan, and he took it. But the series didn't go on that way, and Goku was pretty quickly back at the helm. The ramifications of Goku being alive could be felt up to now, because Goku being alive made Gohan recess back into being a pacifist, undoing all of the character development he had learned. It's something Dragon Ball Super has had to wrestle with twice. As recent as Dragon Ball Super Superhero, the arc has been repeated, even with callback imagery, which, whilst fun to watch, is very hollow knowing this moment has already happened and is just in a constant state of repeating itself. Having the characters constantly revive has made other characters stale. I admit the parts of Super that show Gohan as a nice father and soft at heart are actually really nice. But this could have been achieved by simply having a bit of time between big villains, where Gohan slowly stops training and then has to don his demon clothes or maybe even his dead father's gi and kick some ass. Perhaps his time as the Great Saiyaman had him pull his punches against Earthling foes, but when the big bad comes around, he quickly regains his killer instinct. At the time, Gohan felt like the successor protagonist, and I won't go on about the background reasons for it not coming to pass, but Goku being alive and well, and in fact still the strongest warrior of Earth, hell, the strongest of many universes at this point, has made Gohan recess back into the pacifist child he was before. And I'm not against the guy studying bugs, or loving his daughter, just the idea that he forgot the lesson his dad literally killed himself to teach him. Ironically, future Trunks is lectured on this exact idea by Vegeta, who tells him it's never about being good enough, it's about being ready for the next threat, to never be satisfied with just enough, and not to rely on the strength of his father to carry him forever.
It's gonna be okay. My own strength doesn't matter now.
Look at me, dumbass! Wipe that smile off your face! Stopping Black? Is that your only goal? You think it ends there? Think about the next threat. In a year, or 5 or 10. Or think about your pride. If Saiyan blood flows in your veins, if you're my son as you claim, then I won't tolerate you losing to anyone. You'll be the best, or you'll be nothing!
You know what? Super has some amazing speeches from Vegeta, but that doesn't mean that the series should have kept him alive either. Vegeta dying is a perfect moment. It portrays his arc so succinctly. He fights against brainwashing. He fights against it all to give himself in one final flash. A brilliant flash of yellow. The Prince of all Saiyans, Vegeta, is dead. And you know what? Good. He finally has his people back. He has Goku, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten. Soon he would have Bulla and Pan. For the first time in a long time, the legacy of the Saiyans exists in a tangible form. He gives an amazing speech where he tells the kids exactly what to do, like a great leader would, and he admits truths he could never swallow. This journey of Vegeta's can bring me to tears. His many speeches, the times he got back up, it coming to an end, it feels so real. When Piccolo confirms that he's done for, it's sad. But if he did get to keep his body like Goku had, as a sign as his full-on redemption, it would have been special. In Dragon Ball, a dead character needn't be written out of the show completely, just reserved for special moments, and not to save the day every time. It would have been nice for Goku to become the new Grandpa Gohan figure, and for Vegeta to rest, having restored Saiyan pride, and to have become a better man. And because it's Dragon Ball, you can always see these characters again, they just wouldn't be able to save the day every time. Sadly, the deaths weren't permanent. And now we have an infinite content machine to be sucked dry and milked forever. Some super speeches from Vegeta are actually amazing, as some moments are worth having, but 90% of it is kind of trash, and it will only get worse as time goes on. Beast Gohan as a power-up is a good example. Like, if anyone can explain why it's called Beast Gohan to me, and why his hair goes white, I would really appreciate it, because it doesn't make any sense for these things to happen. It's not like Godly Ki, which turns Goku's hair white. Anyway, let's ignore that. It's not the point of the video. Dragon Ball is a series where you kind of get out of it what you put in. If you're just looking for flashy fights, then it's still great. If you're just looking for big moments, it's still great. But if you're looking for a story with a consistent through line, then you're out of luck. But that wasn't always the case. Dragon Ball was always a story about looking to the next generation, making sure that they're prepared for life. That's why Roshi went as hard as he did on Goku at the World Tournament. He didn't want him to become complicit, thinking he was already the strongest, because eventually someone stronger will come along, or time will take its toll on you, and you need to look to the next generation to defend the Earth. It's why Roshi surrendered to Tien, and it's also why Goku sacrificed himself to spark a passion in Gohan, to teach him that he cannot always be a pacifist, to teach him that sometimes you need to fight and go all out. Goku knew this, and he had to teach Gohan. When he'd kind of fulfilled his destiny. He had prepared the next generation of fighters. Look at how powerful this imagery is. But its meaning and impact is lessened, because Goku comes back anyway.
Hey, Dad!
And so Gohan begins a new life, never forgetting Goku's kindness or his indomitable spirit.
And for Vegeta, his story arc was over. He had become an Earthling. He had become a Saiyan with earthly values. He wanted to protect the children. He wanted to make sure everyone was safe, and he was willing to sacrifice himself for that. And that is a powerful thing. Have you noticed that ever since this moment, Vegeta's story arc has just been kind of discarded, it's thrown away, it's done. Yet, he persists. As time goes on, we're losing more and more of what made Dragon Ball special. And in return, we're getting a pretty fun, infinite content machine of Goku and Vegeta going on adventures.